Okay. Show me.
Hi there guys, welcome back to the DJI channel. Thank you very much for tuning in for a video about this quadcopter here, the iFlight IH2 HD. So this is a DJI Digital FPV drone, 2.5 inch propellers. In this video I'm gonna show you the tune I've made for this quadcopter. So yeah, if you are considering this quadcopter or maybe you already have it, this will help you out to make the quadcopter fly a lot better. When I took this quadcopter out of the box, it flew reasonable. Now it flies really nicely. So again, this is mostly for people that have this quadcopter. However, I'll also try to explain my thought process while tuning this quadcopter, so it might be informative to you if you are new to tuning drones. So actually let me first show you a clip of the quadcopter flying with the new tune. And this is basically the DVR recording I recorded with my goggle. So have a look what it flies like. Alright, I think we can agree that that was pretty much smooth sailing, and I had intended to record another more acrobatic flight, but weather isn't cooperating today, so you'll have to take my word for it. The quadcopter flies a lot better with this tune. Now the problem the quadcopter had, and you'll probably see that if you have this quadcopter, it flew as if it was driving over a bumpy road, a cobblestone road. So it was a bumpy like so, blum, blum, blum. A low frequency bump, so not which you see in a lot of quadcopters when the tune is bad. So it was a slow oscillating bump. Small bumps, not a huge problem, and I could mask it with a stabilized camera. Obviously the quadcopter will fly a lot better when the tune is right. So again, a low frequency bump the quadcopter showed. So what did I do to resolve that? Alright, let's have a looky. We hook it up to our PC and we hit connect. Now I haven't updated the Betaflight version on this quadcopter, maybe I will, but this is a tune for the ready to fly version as it comes stock. And that means that it comes with Betaflight 4.1.2. So I haven't touched that. Let me see. The first thing you basically always need to do is set up your filtering on the quadcopter. So in the Pid Tune tab, you go to filtering, and I must admit that black box logging to set up your filtering is advanced. So I won't bother you too much with that. For this quadcopter, I've turned down both of these sliders to the left a little. They were stock, they were at 1.4 each, and that was a bit too aggressive. So this means less filtering. So that was stock, and after having a look at the filtering the black box logs of this quadcopter, I dialed both of those down to 1.3. And that worked out well for this quadcopter. So you can do that without any hesitation. There's no risk involved. There would be more risk changing them from 1.3 to 1.4. But okay, so stock they were at 1.4. Now in my tune they are at 1.3. Maybe I'll do another video on black box logging and filter tuning. It is an important step, but it's also again an advanced step. So I'll forego that for now, maybe in a next video. Then the Pid Tune. Now the first thing you might notice here is a picture of the original tune of the quadcopter. The first thing you will notice is that the sliders were disabled. So you see that button, enable sliders. And why is that? Why does iFlight disable the sliders? Well, basically they don't. What iFlight does and what most manufacturers do is they have a profile, a text file with all the settings for this quadcopter. They load that into the flight controller, and that in almost all circumstances that disables the sliders. So that's why in a lot of quadcopters, in a lot of ready-to-fly quadcopters, you will see that the sliders are disabled. However, I have re-enabled the sliders, and this is the tune I've come up with. And I'll put the old tune, the alt PIDs, and the new PIDs over each other. So on top, the bottom 3 rows is the new PIDs, and the bottom rows are the old PIDs, the stock PIDs. Now, what was my thought process in this? What I saw, that slow wobble the quadcopter had, or that slow dribble, is basically the PID tune or the PID processor being a little bit too slow or not aggressive enough. I guess it expects a quadcopter with a little bit less drag, or a little lighter. That's why the reactions of the flight controller are a little bit slow. It always lags a little bit behind. So basically what I've done is I've raised both the P's and the D's. Especially the D's were really low on the stock tune. I don't know why really. In fact, the tune I have now on the quadcopter is conservative. You could probably get away with raising the D's a little bit more. But as you see it here, the quadcopter basically flies perfectly. So you can also have a look at the sliders. Master manipulator is 1.1 and the P and D gain is 1.1, and that's about it. Yeah, so the filtering I've changed, and well, the P's and the D's I've raised, and the I's I've raised them a little bit. Yeah, I have raised them a little bit as well. So that is my tune, and that is also why I did what I did. Again, the reactions of the flight controller were always lagged a little bit behind. That's why I raised almost everything here. If you see a quadcopter have fast oscillations, then in most cases you'll have to dial things down. So the opposite of what I did here. And that's it. I flew this tune with a 650 mAh 4S Lipo on this quadcopter, by the way. I don't fly this quadcopter on 3S. And I hope this helped you out. If you have this quadcopter, this will definitely make your quadcopter fly better. If you are left with questions, however, hit me up a comment down below. For now, I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video. Bye bye.